This is Mike Nine from Eyehategod, and I'm blowing it up on MetalgodZradiO.
Yes, you are. You are indeed blowing it up on MetalgodZradiO.
It seems like I'm on.
Welcome, everybody, to another exciting MetalgodZradiO interview. Today we have Mike Nine from Eyehategod on the phone. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Fantastic.
How's the weather where you're at today?
Gloomy and rainy. It's just the way I like it.
And that's nice. That's the norm for where you are?
Not really, but it's been that way for a few days, so it's cool.
And that's a nice little change from the normal misery that you're used to out there.
I mean, you know, it's the summer is very hot in New Orleans, so it rains pretty much every day, but it's not gotten that far yet.
Soon, though.
Yeah, sooner or later. Yeah.
Do you remember what your first mosh pit was?
Well, I come from you know, I've been into punk rock since like 1978, so I got into hardcore in 1980, 81. We didn't call it mosh back then. We never called it that. We called it slamming. We slam dancing is what the media called it, you know. But yeah, man, Bad Brains, Black Flag, Minor Threat, all those good shows. Misfits, Stage Diving was the.
And did you jump right in, or was there a little hesitation?
Oh no, you got to jump right in. You got to attack.
And do you remember the last stage dive that you did?
Oh, I have no idea. Probably 2 years ago at the Cro-Mags.
Were there any injuries involved with your stage dive?
Just mentally, probably, but yeah, no, nothing bad.
Was that the JM Cro-Mags or the Harley Cro-Mags?
Oh, that was John Joseph's Cro-Mags. We toured with them. We did I don't know if it's 2 or 3 different legs of tour with them. Yeah, so it was John and Mackie.
It's a good band.
I thought they were fucking great, man. You know, I don't know the whole controversy going on, but John's a cool guy to me, and Mackie's super cool. And it was like he had Craig from Sick of It All, AJ from Leeway, you know, and so that whole band was kind of like New York legends. So you know, I thought it was cool, man.
I think both bands are good. I think there's room for both.
There's definitely room for both. There's you know, there's a lot of room out there. But I get how these petty things start, you know, and then they get blown up in the social media and stuff, and gossip and rumors and things. So, you know, that happens with bands sometimes.
It's almost inevitable.
Yeah, it seems like it, yeah.
What was the first music you bought with your own money?
Oh, probably a Kiss album, Kiss Alive, the first one. That was probably, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that was definitely the first album I bought.
And did you buy that because you heard them, or did you buy it because the cover drew you in?
I think I used to, you know, I had older brothers, you know, they weren't into Kiss or anything, but they, you know, would have rock magazines around the house. I probably saw Kiss in one of the rock magazines and read about them, you know, and then, you know, there was a commercial, I think, for them playing live somewhere at a Coliseum or something. And so yeah, I was like, yeah, I got to have that record and see what that's like. I was already into Alice Cooper and The Who and Rolling Stones, you know, when I was like 9 years old, 8 or 9. So, you know, it's just a gradual progression, I would say.
Yeah, I got to see The Who with The Clash. Did you get a chance to see The Who at all?
No, but I saw The Clash in 1980 on their, I think London Calling had just come out. No, I'm not sure. Or not just come out, but it was the last album they had done at that time. So yeah, I got to see the Clash. Never saw the Who though.
Great album that is.
Yeah, it's excellent, man. All that stuff, you know. I like their earlier stuff better than London Calling, but I like the self-titled first album. But I love the Clash in general.
Yeah, everybody likes the early stuff, right? It's just the way it is.
I don't know. I see people that seem to like, you know, a lot of people got into London Calling because it was kind of more commercial sounding and was on the radio. You know, they had a couple of hits. The first album didn't have any hits like that on it except maybe college radio, you know, so I don't know, man. I just drawn to that heavier, earlier sound.
No, I think in general, people tend to like the earlier stuff of most bands. Yeah,
it seems like the first album that they heard, that's the one that they say that's their favorite, you know? So usually that's like a band's earlier stuff, debut albums and stuff.
And people are in their formative years as well.
Sure, yeah, that's how, you know, that stuff sticks with you, you know? It stays with you the rest of your life, I think.
Absolutely. Now, you have a brand new album?
Yep.
The album is called, oh my God. Can you refresh its History of Nomadic Behavior? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It just came out March 12th, a couple weeks ago.
And you have returned to Central Media on this, right?
Well, what we're doing now is we did it with the last album, too, the self-titled album. We licensed our stuff to them. So as we did on the self-titled, we licensed it to 3 different labels. So this time we just went with the one label. And that way we own our music. We own, you know, all that stuff, publishing and all that. But they help us with the distribution and things for a certain amount of years. So it's not like a contract or anything, but it's, you know, like signing away for a bunch of records. But it's a good deal. I think more bands are doing that and should do that nowadays.
And you've been doing this a while. Clearly, this is something that you've explored and did a little research on, right?
Well, yeah, we're always, you know, looking for options. I mean, I hate record labels. We hate record labels. Although we just started our own record label, but it's you know, our record label, so it's all right. But yeah, I mean, dealing with bigger record labels are people that aren't in it for the music; they're just in it for their own benefit. There's a lot of those labels out there, you know. So in the '90s, when we signed to Century Media, we were kids, you know. We couldn't afford lawyers. You know, they give us this 20-page contract and tell us, we're going to send you to Europe, you know, and you're going to put a record out. We were like, sure, where do we sign? So that ended up being not the best idea for us back then. But we got out of that contract and decided to go back with them again, which is, you know, now it's a whole group of different people there. It's not the same people. It's not owned by the same people. It's a lot better. It's a lot better now. We've got friends that work there and stuff. So that was the decision we made.
What input have they? What kind of input have they brought to Eyehategod on this new go around?
They've been really helpful as far as you know, getting us in certain areas that we haven't gotten in before. They got us these interviews today, calling you, you know, so. You know, they just have the resources to do those things. You know, a lot of hookups with some, you know, internet radio stuff, and it's all good stuff. You know, places I mean, that's how you sell a record nowadays is through the internet. I mean, that's just the way it goes. You know, especially during this COVID thing. So they've helped us break some new ground there.
The Spotify is the big thing at the moment.
Yeah, Spotify, I think it's a helpful tool, and I use it all the time to find bands. You know, you can search bands on there and then find other bands that are similar or There's actually a lot of underground stuff on Spotify, you know. I mean, they don't pay my band much for being on there. Like, we don't really get paid much to have our music on there, but it's a good resource. It helps people hear the music. And, you know, like I said, I use that site a lot, that app a lot. So I get my money's worth with it.
Absolutely. Me and some friends are always exchanging playlists.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's a cool thing in that regard. It's like the library. I remember going to the public library and seeing heavy metal CDs there.
Right.
Obviously, there's pros and cons to everything, and there's really no point in just focusing on the cons, right?
Of course, yeah.
You worked with is it James Whiten is the producer on this one?
Oh, James Whitten. Yeah, that's who recorded the music for the album. I did the vocals with a guy named Sanford Parker up in Chicago. He has a studio called Hypercube, and he's done, you know, Voivod and things like that. But he's a friend of mine, and we have a band called Corrections House together that we've done a few records with. So it was kind of a logical choice to go with him, just being a friend and all.
Well, that works out good. How is the process different working with your friend James than people that you've worked with in the past?
Well, I was speaking of Sam Parker, because the vocals and the music were done separately.
Right. You're right.
Yeah. No, there was nothing different except that I went to Chicago and, you know, we made sure, you know, just working with a friend is a whole lot better than, you know, some stranger. You know, he gave me some input on stuff, and it's nice to have an engineer in the studio that can tell you if something sucks. You know, you might do a vocal track and it's terrible and you don't know it yourself. It's good to have somebody there that you can bounce it off of, as opposed to a stranger who could just be like, yeah, sure, leave it, you know, put it out, you know, and then you've got something that you got to live with the rest of your life.
And are you in general pretty much open to advice?
I mean, sure, it depends on what it is, you know. It depends on what it is. But yeah, why not?
Absolutely. Why not? It's a great, great 2 words. Why not?
You're right. Exactly.
Is there a theme that runs throughout the album, or is it more of a collection of songs?
Oh, there's no theme to it. It's just the usual I hate God, you know, feelings of desperation type lyrics, that type of thing, you know, addiction, hate, love, those things. It's just the same as the rest of our catalog, you know, the same style of lyrics, maybe a little more modernized, but, you know.
After a year off the road, how eager are you to get back in the van and the airports?
I'm itching to. I'm ready to go, you know. I'm ready to go as soon as we can figure out what's happening here. We're talking about it right now, talking to some people, booking agents and stuff, trying to figure out what to do. It looks like maybe America would probably be the first place, you know, that people are going to start touring as far as American bands, you know. So we're itching to get back.
Yeah, I see some festival dates here in America seem to all be opening up, or at least not closing down. I imagine some people are saying the festivals are, you know.
We're scheduled to play this thing called Psycho Fest, and they've been having it planned, you know, for a while now. So I think that's in August. Not sure what's going to happen, if it's going to get canceled or not again, but we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. Hopefully it won't be, you know, limited capacity or anything like that, because that's not fun.
And in a lot of cases, that just won't work financially, right?
Well, it depends on what they pay us compared to what people, you know. It would be terrible if they like overcharged people because there was less people to make the money, you know. So I don't know how that's all going to work. I'm not that involved in the business end of that. I would rather just be the singer for that.
Of course. This is the first album with Aaron Hill on drums. Is that right?
Yeah, it's his first album. Yep. Yeah.
Did he get to contribute to the songwriting at all?
Oh, of course. He wrote some songs on guitar. He wrote Three Black Eyes, the song Three Black Eyes, and he wrote some other stuff on there. I can't think of which ones right.
Do you have any final thoughts? Thanks for taking the time to talk to me. Do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share to anybody that might be listening to this?
Just, buy some merch. Buy merch from us, but buy it from every band. Just the merchandise is all that's keeping these bands afloat, keeping us afloat right now, So we appreciate people that would to go to our website and our store to Eyehategod.ee. Go check that stuff out and keep food on our plates,